Also, we're leaving Noish dead. Like, sorry, Noish fans. Noish is... I don't know if I can put this in chat anymore. Is it dead? Is dead the word you were gonna say? YouTube does not censor the word dead. I mean, YouTube doesn't censor most of the things that people seem to think YouTube censors. Oh god. Fucking farming Ice Rider videos now, because I've been meaning to do a rant about the fucking self-censorship culture. The whole sewer slide, gender slide, that sort of thing. So, unalived, those words. So for anyone who doesn't know, like, what that is, what, like, the dealio, what's the dealio with unalived? When talking about, like, serious topics, for some reason, like, there's a collection of, like, YouTubers who will talk about, like, people killing themselves or, like, true crime, where there's, like, murders and stuff, and they'll, instead of using, like, the actual... Instead of using, like, the actual words for what's going on, they'll use cutesy euphemisms like, so-and-so got unalived. Such and such committed sewer slide. There's an ongoing gender side in Palestine. And the idea, and this originated from TikTok, because TikTok very aggressively shadow bans any topics it sees as, like, not advertiser friendly. So it originates from TikTok, and a lot of the TikTok creators who mass migrated from TikTok to YouTube are where it comes from. But there's a couple of problems that I have with it. First is that, like, YouTube does not censor in the same way TikTok did, so, like, there's no need to self-censor. It's preemptive compliance. And it's very, like, 1984, like, our language is newspeak now, right? I think it's important to be able to talk about these serious topics, like suicide, and treat them with the seriousness and dignity that they deserve. Like, someone committing suicide is a tragedy, and it doesn't need to be joked about. Guess I'm all out of luck now. I mean, we could leave Beowulf dead, too. Bye, Beowulf. Beowulf got unalived. But, like, no, I think that when talking about, like, real-life people, it's fucking disgusting just how much, the idea of, like, we're taking these real-life people and then just referring to their deaths, their suicides, and ongoing genocide, that sort of stuff, in a cutesy way. It's really gross to me. But also, even if you believe that you do need to censor it, right? If YouTube is suppressing these videos, right? There are much easier ways than, like, the cutesy sewer slide lesbian, because that's the other thing, is people will also use it to talk about, like, marginalized groups now as well. Like queer people and black people and stuff like that. Which is, again, just, like, an erasure of a group, an experience, like, that sort of stuff. If you really do need to censor yourself, one, there's other ways of phrasing it that are not cutesy. I recently had to have a conversation about, people leaving me death threats on, my YouTube videos in a forum that auto-censored things like death, suicide, kill yourself, KYS, that sort of thing. And I simply said, you know, people were telling me to end my own life. And that form of phrasing did not get censored, right? But if you're making a video, there's another very, very easy, way to do that tons of creators use. That SpongeBob did it! Right? Like, and obviously, like, that's a bit cutesy for censoring out the word genocide, but you can just have beep come up, right? But so many creators who are like, they want to make, like, if you're a Nintendo creator and you want to make your content accessible to children, like, putting the SpongeBob swear noise in anytime you're saying fuck or shit or damn accomplishes that. If you're making a serious video about a serious topic and you're not willing to say the word genocide because you're, like, afraid that your video will get suppressed by the algorithm, that's a very real fear. I can understand that, even if I think that it is exaggerated. And the algorithm doesn't actually, like, suppress things in the way that people think it does usually. Instead of saying gendercide, just censor the word genocide. Or say mass killing. Like, mass killing is a word for that. I think the worst time, the thing that, like, made me the most mad, so I was watching, the Knitting Cult Lady, who is a creator that talks about cults, has, like, a lot of experience talking about cults, and she was reading, this actually, like, got me to unsubscribe from her, because I was disgusted at the gall of it. She was reading someone else's account of them being raped due to their experience in a cult, right? And she was reading the quote, and the quote was like, you know, this, that, and the other happened, and then I got raped. And she read that word for word, and then she stopped, realized she had said rape instead of grape, which is the cutesy way of referring to it, which, by the way, originates from a fucking Whitest Kids You Know sketch. Like, God, treat the fucking subject with dignity. And went back and started the quote over again and changed it to graped. Someone else's fucking words about their own fucking experience. And she changed it. And not only that, but she didn't even cut out the initial time that she read rape because she was reading someone else's quote from a book. So, if your fucking excuse for it is that, oh, I'm just trying to stop the algorithm from suppressing my quotes, which, let's fucking face it, no you're not. These people are not trying to stop the algorithm from suppressing them. They think it sounds cutesy and meme-worthy to say gender slide instead of genocide. If your fucking excuse is that you think the algorithm will suppress it if you say the word rape, then use the editor to cut out the time you said rape! Fucking disgusting behavior. I'm sorry, I'm very angry because this is a topic that, like, it's gross. It's just fucking gross. I think that if you are incapable of handling a subject of that gravity, if you show yourself to be incapable of handling a subject of that gravity and treating it with the seriousness that it deserves, then you shouldn't be covering that fucking subject. If you want to make your videos funny and memey and include funny little memes, there are a variety of topics that YouTube allows you to make videos about where it would be appropriate to include funny little memes and misspeaks. I make videos on fucking Nintendo games! I click back on the stream and the first thing I hear Jenny screaming gender slide instead of genocide. I mean, like, I recognize that, like, I say I'm making videos on Nintendo games, but this is, like, a serious topic to talk about. But I'm also not making jokes about this topic, right? Like, I don't think it needs to be all or nothing. I've released a couple of videos that I would say are on, like, serious topics, and I treat them, at least I try to treat them with fucking dignity and seriousness. So, like, it doesn't need to be all or nothing, but if you are making a video on a serious topic, treat it with the gravity that the fucking topic deserves. If you are having a conversation about a serious topic, don't make jokes that originate from the whitest kids you know. And that's not even, like, anything against the whitest kids you know? I think that they make some funny sketches. But if you're talking about, like, a real-life rape, don't make the rapist joke. Maybe if you replaced rape with sexually assaulted, if you actually care about bad words in the algorithm. Yeah, or, like, even SA, right? Like, everyone knows what SA means. So, like, if it's actually about the algorithm bad words, SA also works. So you gotta throw out jokes, because some people cope through humor, but there's a difference between that and not taking shit seriously. I mean, I think it really depends. I think it's really context dependent, but I think that, like, referring to someone else's, like, referring to an ongoing genocide with, like, the uh-oh, funny, gender slide, is, like, garbage human being levels. Gender slide is so offensive to anyone struggling in Palestine right now. It's also, like, I think there's a difference between, like, if you're referring to your own experience, you kind of get to talk about your own experience in the way that you feel appropriate, because, like, it's your own trauma, right? But if you're talking about someone else's, that's what, like, really disgusted me so much about the thing with the knit and cult lady, is, like, she's reading someone else's quote, and the way that someone else has chosen to talk about their rape, and she's decided to apply her own arbitrary sense of humor onto it. Like, if you're a victim of sexual assault or rape or anything else, and it helps you to cope with your experience by referring to it as, like, that time I was graped, I'm not gonna gatekeep the way that you handle trauma, We all have our own shit. I mean, I talk about my own assaults sometimes in ways that are, like, gallows humory. Because, like you say, it's an adaptation. I also think if it's context dependent on, like, what is the conversation we're having where we're talking about those sorts of things happening, right? If you're having a serious conversation about a serious issue, then I don't think it's appropriate to, like, well, I don't think the fucking, I don't know. What did I walk in on? Sorry, I keep trying to end the conversation and I keep not ending it.